Hello. Today I would like to talk to you about discrimination. It is a real thing. Many different groups of people are discriminated against every day. To discriminate means to make a certain group or minority feel less than your own group or inferior. Today I would like to talk to you about transgender people. They have and continue to be discriminated against in many ways that affect their everyday part of life. Imagine calling around and being denied a regular primary doctor because you have been diagnosed with depression. I'm sure that has happened, but not as much as it has to transgender people. They have been denied a primary doctor and health care due to their own disorder. A transgender, also, they have been diagnosed with a gender identity disorder. It's different than being homosexual, which is being attracted to the same sex. Transgender means you identify as a different sex than what you are. In the National Transgender Discrimination Survey report on health and healthcare, it states that 19% of its sample taken of transgender people, they were outright refused healthcare. That is terrible. The survey also includes and states that transgender people are 4 times the national average to have HIV, and people with HIV today can live longer lives due to the new medications that have come out. But in order to do that, to get help with that, they have to go and request health care and receive medication. And that's hard to do when you are being discriminated against and being denied health care. They are also discriminated against in their employment. It's almost non-existent for them. So many of them engage in sex work, and that's ironic because they are also 4 times likely to have HIV. But, without lack of employment, and lack of health care, that's why there's such a rise for them in that. A very good friend of mine, my best friend actually, her son has a girlfriend that is transgender. She takes hormone therapy for now, but someday she plans to have surgery. I have personally seen someone discriminate against her in a restaurant. They made a comment that she was a he/she. Her story is one of many people's, that she tried to be what everybody wanted her to be, what gender they thought she should be, because that's what she was born as. She lived this way for a long time. She even had a son. She did this to please her parents and all that. And this never worked out for her. It fueled such a depression for her. She was never happy, and because she couldn't be herself. Imagine if you could not say or act or be what you wanted to in life. It's very sad. In a gender not listed here, gender queers, gender rebels, and otherwise in the National Transgender Survey by Jack Harrison, Jamie Grant, and Jody Herman reveals that transgender people were more likely to have a college degree, 1.74 times the national average, the general population, but 4 times the rate to be living in extreme poverty of $10,000 or less. So let's do a role reversal here. Imagine spending or having spent all this time working on achieving your degree, or having achieved your degree and never reaping the benefits from it. That's a tragedy. It's a tragedy in America because it was founded on many different people and immigrants that started this country. They were also different. Such discrimination for transgenders has led to the suicide rate of the LGBT community 4 times the general population. That's a crazy statistic. So 41% of transgender people have attempted or committed suicide because of discrimination and other issues. In the Journal of Homosexuality, Suicide, and Suicide Risk in the LGBT community, which means lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender, if you didn't know. It states that the death records do not routinely include the deceased person's sexual orientation. So even though we have done a survey for transgender people and lesbians and bi and gay people, we've done a survey, but it still does not tell us on the death certificates what sexual orientation they were, so we could keep accurate records of what the suicide rates are really, because of this discrimination that transgender people feel and happen to them. It's hard to determine how many suicide attempts or suicides have been executed or attempted by lack of records. That's what the Journal of Homosexuality says. Something needs to be done to help these communities, the LGBT communities. Our country was founded on different. Now that you are informed, what action or step will you take to help those in need? I've been asking myself the same thing. Something needs to be done. Thank you.